How's everybody feeling? Everybody good? Y'all are still really quiet. I don't like this. It's making me nervous because, like, I feel like I'm giving a school presentation and I'm like, I don't have a PowerPoint. What is PowerPoints? If anybody ever told me to do one, I don't think I'd be like when I give keynotes and people are like, do you need a projector? I'm like, for what? I know my poems, and I'm like, you sure you don't want to send over like your file? I'm like, I don't. I just need a microphone. It's yeah, keynotes are interesting because I don't know if anybody ever books me, whatever, if you're here, but I don't know what the fuck I do. I show up at a keynote sometimes. I'm like, I don't know, what's the subject? And they're like, we booked you 3 months ago. I'm like, yeah, well, being me means you get whatever I'm thinking today. And then you're up there, and you're like, fuck, what do I say? And then I start thinking of all the memes that I know and how I could put them into my story. I used to sell knives door to door. That's a lie. I only went to 2 doors. I only went to 2 doors, but it sounds good to say door to door. I worked at a parking garage booth. I was a salesperson in a paper goods store. I developed 30-minute film. I called folks about refinancing their homes. I think it was a front for something else, because one day I just showed up and they gave me an envelope of money and they told me not to come back. But I worked there. I nannied a pair of twins. I became head cashier at another drugstore. I would take the bus to each job, all of them out west, in Santa Monica or Palisades or Westwood. I used to commute 3 to 4 hours every day, and I know this city the way I know heartache. I can taste it before I can give it words. I mourned my father on the 704. I got my test results about infertility on the 302. I wrote the first poem in my first book on the 201. I broke up with plenty of boyfriends over the phone at bus stops. Made my way to the beach, contemplated walking out into the water, but I always came back on the last bus. I counted the purple trees on my block, kissed my mother's cheek goodnight. Gentrification tried to tell me that what once loved me can no longer love me back. And I laughed. You can't take what's already in my blood. Thank you.